right, guys. Shout out to my members. Shout out to my subscribers. Thank you guys for locking in with your boy. Woo, do I got some information for y'all. Y'all might want to get some popcorn if you're up, if it's in the morning, get you some coffee, get whatever you need to do to relax. 'Cause we got some stuff to break down real quick, guys, and I need y'all to tune in on this one so cause y'all really can understand what's going on, and it's very interesting. And I just wanted to share it with you guys. So I interrupted scheduled programming and I said I got to share this with my peoples. I got to share this with y'all. So let's get into it. If you've been following the channel, you've been following this map. There's been a lot of different things going on, but I'm going to get right to the meat and potatoes. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to play on this one. This one is kind of interesting. Now, as you know, we've had a coalition. Me, South Dutch Papua here, Cairns, Perth just Perth just got taken out of the group, but we got South French Indochina, and one of our biggest allies, one of our biggest coalition members was Loralai. So I wanna let you guys know what Loralai did on this map. And I want you guys to take your time like I had to take my time and let all of this register. Okay? First and foremost, Loralai, right, was selected to join this coalition early in the game. And guess who put him in the game? Seduna. Seduna created a coalition in Australia very quickly. And so he was the leader of the coalition. So it gave him free reign to just invite anybody into the coalition, which I thought was strange that he would invite somebody way in Asia. That really didn't make sense to me. Well, it does now, because there was a plot in place the whole time. And the plot has been exposed and is unfolding, and I don't think it went according to plans. So now you have to understand what's been going on. As team members, as a coalition, we have someone named Loralai who the whole time, guys, has been working for the enemy, Murcia. I don't know if this is a multi-account, which I suspect it is. I don't know if these guys are just allies and they play together all the time. Either way, it doesn't matter. This is deplorable what Loralai has done, and I would never do this. I think it's a cowardly way to play the game. I think it shows a certain level of immaturity, and we're going to just get into this. We're going to expose this because this shows just how petty some individuals get when it comes to this game and when it just comes to life, period. So now, it's a difference between being an ally and just being a rattlesnake. If you're going to join the game and join a coalition, you ought to be upfront with your team members, and you shouldn't have any secret pacts that you've made. That's not honorable. It's not a strategy that you would get any kind of recognition for. No one wants to learn from that. So we got to get into this, guys. So we got Loralai on our team the whole time working as a spy for Murcia. This guy here, who's already been exposed for cheating when he allowed Southern Highlands to just take all Southern Highlands just miraculously, guys, decided to back all of his troops out. and decided to take all his troops to America because he probably felt threatened or probably wanted to set some groundwork in America for Murcia to come right on in. See, but I'm not gonna give you all our intel. I'm not gonna give you all the information that I know. Because while I'm seeing all of this take place, I saw this take place early in the game. Do you know that Southern Highland even told me that he watched my YouTube video, guys? And that he enjoys watching me play and he wanted to be, teammates with me. And he even given, and look, he's even given me shared map since the beginning of the game. So that's why I can see everything he did with Murcia. You see Murcia? Why is Murcia guarding all of Southern Highlands provinces here, yet has not attacked one time the whole entire game? He took all of his provinces after after Southern Highlands killed all the troops that were here. Southern Highlands takes off and moves here, and then you see Murcia put a little heart around him. Oh, it gets way worse than this, guys. I'm just giving you guys the setup. This is just the setup. This is just the setup. And this is a current map, guys. This is today. What's today's date? This is May 21st. Okay? So I want you to know you're getting this fresh. This is fresh bread. Okay? Now, let's continue. So now I don't want to expose what we have going on, so I'm not going to say anything about my honorable teammate Oregon and the discussions that we've had about this situation. As you can already see, Oregon has done a marvelous job of booting Southern Highlands out of America, and he's in the process of getting rid of him entirely. Hopefully, like I said, I'm not going to speak for Oregon, but I'll speak with him on the game, and if he wants to speak to you guys, my audience, and let you guys know what his intentions are, I will give him the what they call it, the platform to do that. But I don't want to speak for any of my teammates. Oregon has been a great teammate thus far, and he's been loyal, and he's played with integrity. So now look at this, guy. So this is a tactic that Murcia used. He gets a feeder account. This is an account that he doesn't plan on winning with, just plans on causing mayhem and suicide missions and all of that. And then once he tears it up and weakens up a certain area, he comes in and bring his troops in and all of that. Very weak, very snakish way to play the game. Okay, but I just want to expose him. Because I'm going to give you guys a little, well, I'll tell you that later. Let me not move too fast. I'm getting excited, y'all. I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited. My bad. Let me calm down. Let me take a deep breath. Let me take a deep breath. I think my lady over there listening to, she probably laughing at me, but I don't care. I don't care. This thing here done got ridiculous. Now, so let's now, if you remember, guys, I don't want to move too fast. I don't want to skip past anything. I want to keep everything kind of like in the chronological order. And you'll see this all unfold as the videos come out. But I want to just give you a summary of what you're not going to, what you'll get to see when the videos come out. Just give you a little brief summary. So now, if you do recall, guys, I'm good friends with, I had Eastern Cape as well, who allowed me to share map and see his map, and we had good dialogue and everything like that. And but he decided to join Murcia for some strange reason. Yet he said he joined the game and he enjoyed my videos and this and that, and he wanted to work with me, but it was a lie, because I sent him a coalition invite and he declined. He declined, and then I got intel showing me that he was working hand in hand with Murcia. I mean, proven, and you'll see that in the videos. So there was no denying it. So yes, that's when I proceeded to go ahead and attack Eastern Cape and try to go into Southern Africa, if you remember. right? But guess what the problem was? Guess why I could not succeed fully in taking over Africa? Would you believe? Would you know? Can you guess why? And this is why I had to retreat from Africa. Do you know why, guys? Because of this snake right here, Loralai. Mr. Loralai. And I believe Perth, we'll get to you, Perth. I'm gonna get to you later, Perth, because I want to make sure I show the people the receipts when I bring things up. Right now, I'm dealing with Loralai. I should call him. Nah, I can't give him that nickname. But Loralai, that's what we dealing. I want to stay focused, cause y'all ain't gonna believe this. I still ain't got to the meat and potatoes, but I'm trying to make sure you get all the information. So now, I attacked Eastern Cape. Now I will say this: it was a risky attack, but Eastern Cape was moving all of his troops to the north. Him and Murcia was working. And I said, no, I cannot allow them to just take over the entire African continent without any kind of resistance, especially since he's working with Murcia. So that's if he wasn't working with Murcia, I wouldn't have bothered him. But once you're making a decision to work with our enemy, somebody who my whole coalition is at war with, then we had no choice. But the whole time, Loralai, let me tell you why him being a part of Murcia's sneaky team, or whatever you want to call it, is that he exposes, or it could just be a multi-account that Murcia uses. The problem with that is that he exposes everything that we do as a coalition. He knows everything we're saying. He doesn't even need spies. He has our maps, because he's a part of. If he has control of Loralai, he can see everything we're doing, everything we're communicating in the chat, and he's trying to counteract everything we're doing. Oh, are you thinking I'm making this up? Well, before I get into the meat and potatoes, let's go to the messages, and I'm going to show you what kind of snake I was dealing with in Africa and why I caught on. I already knew who he was, and I'm going to prove it. He wasn't fooling me. He was fooling himself. But watch this, guys. Let's go to the messages. I'm going to show you how I knew that I was dealing with a snake. Let's go. Watch this. From the beginning of our conversation, we're going to go through me and Loralai's dialogue. And I'm going to show you what kind of snake I'm dealing with. I'm going to try to move quick. Maybe a weird, this is him talking to me. Maybe a weird question, but can I share a map with you? I always struggle early games because I have a lot of neighbors. I want to see how you produce and how many factories you make and how you fight in early games. If you don't want it, it's fine. Love your YouTube videos, by the way. Weird question. Weird way to introduce yourself to me on this game. But I just say thanks, bro. Then he say, do you want to trade grain for fish? I can also trade metals. I can see you have a lot of fish provinces. I want to tell you that Murcia spends gold like crazy. His morale is on almost every captured province after day 100. Quick question, how does he know that he spent gold? And why are you telling me? So I say, oh yeah, I see him over there. And he's going to be an issue because yes, Murcia started off the game. Obviously he spent some money, or he had a lot of gold already saved. I'm not going to always say somebody spend money, but he did something beyond just what the average player can do at the start of that game. And he might have just been in a good position. So I'm not going to make speculations. I'm going to keep it, solid, keep it 100. So he may have just had a good start, and he may have had a lot of gold already, but he definitely must have had a significant amount of gold. And what I was told is that because he had a level 10 airplane hero, that means he had to have spent some money. So I don't respect that. I think if you have to go into your bank account and spend a whole fortune on this game, I think you need to check yourself a little bit. All right, so I said we're creating a new coalition. He said, are you planning to let South French Indochina live? Why does those are kind of weird questions, but I said yes. He says, are you planning to let Shagai live? I don't have a problem with the opposite. Now watch how interesting that is. I said, I was going to ask you about that. Did not want to step on his toes. I said, yeah, we need to expand to the west. We really made a deal with, I'm sorry, I've already made a deal with South Indochina. He laughs. I must say that Shagai has a good army, but he has nothing against your airplanes. He says, can I have one of his coastline dubbed double fish province? I don't produce fish a lot. Then he says, never mind, Shagai got gold marks. How you know? Then he says, he got fighters, I mean. So I'm like, okay, cool. He has a lot of firepower. Do I need to help? I said, he does. I said, yeah, I need you, bro. So now, this is interesting because I'm familiar with this kind of tactic. This is somebody saying, okay, now I can help this guy and get in his good graces. So, okay, it is a hard decision for me to betray him. Interesting. I said, yeah, I know I put you in a tight spot. Definitely would owe you one. But do you remember, guys, that he told me that he wouldn't care about the opposite? Y'all remember that? Are you planning on attacking Shagai? I don't have a problem with the opposite. Now it goes into, it's a hard decision for me to betray him. You see what kind of liar we're dealing with, guys? I thought you said it was no problem and that you were okay with it. Now I put you in a tight spot and now I owe you one. That's because I know I'm dealing with a snake. You got to know how to talk to a snake, guys. You don't, you know, when the robber got you by the gun, you give him what he wants. So let's keep going. He said, let's make a plan so he needs to split his troops. I said, okay. All right, Loralai, you snake. What you got in mind? What you got in mind, you snake? So he said, I can send troops to attack you. Listen to this guy. Check this out, y'all. This guy here is a piece of work. He gonna send troops to attack me and then betray Shagai halfway. But hold on, y'all. We got to listen, y'all. Y'all got to get this now. This guy here is a piece of work. I can send troops to attack you and betray him on halfway. But that is very unfriendly to do so. So let's keep that last as a last option. We can fight from two fronts. How much time do you need to mobilize a decent amount of troops to your borders? I can buy you time. Oh man, this guy here is a general, man. 5-star general here. I tell him, give me 24 hours. Cairns and Perth are en route. So I'm letting him know I need a little time. My boys are coming. He says, okay. I am going to declare war on him as soon as I have enough troops there. I'm like, thank you, bro. But the whole time, I'm like, this guy's kind of weird. Then he says, can you really not go for Indonesia? I can't do this. Hold up, man. This guy. I hate that they make you go back on these messages sometimes, but that's okay. We got to get through this. He said, can you really not go for Indonesia? I can't do this. Then he said, never mind. He said some angry things. And I'm letting him know I'm just waking up. Then he said, I don't trust Indonesia. He betrayed Hanan and is still working with his coalition members. I said, okay, dang, I sent a coalition to Indonesia already, but I'll monitor it. I'm just giving him fluff, telling him anything like, man, shut up. Listening to you. I said, I think the best way is that after Shagai, listen to this guy. You and Karens are going to expand, in Indonesia. There's a lot of open land there, and if you success there, will be no problem where to expand anymore. What are your thoughts about this? I ignore it. Like, man, what are you talking about? Don't tell me or anybody else where we finna go or what we about to do. This guy's he got some nerve. He said, I think the best way is that after she got you and Karen. I'm like, who made this guy the commander in chief? Then he goes, thoughts. Like, I better respond type thing. And you know, that's where you got to be like, okay, let me respond, but respond in a way that you get what you want out the deal and you still understand you're dealing with somebody here who got another agenda. Unlike Shigai, I made an agreement with Indonesia. Until he violates that agreement, I will keep my word. Now, if he becomes a liability in any way, then that's a different story. He says, I understand. I will leave most of Shigai's land for you. You can sneak up through some small AI and expand in Central Asia. You could help me attack East Caucasus, but that is maybe a little bit too far. I'm like, okay, well, Perth and Cairns are 5 to 6 days away from the front line, so we all can get a piece. So 5 to 6 hours from the front line. So he said, yes, I won't be too greedy. I have no intention to take Shigai in. I'll leave it when he isn't a threat anymore. He said, that's a lot. I can give you 7K right now for 15 fish. If that's good, I'll make it 12K, no problem. If I got any kind of deals with iron and wood, I'll tell you. Right now I'm broke, no problem. He's sending 200 armies to attack me, so the distraction has worked. I said, okay, I got you, bro. Then he said, did you also get invitation from Murcia? What? No, I didn't get an invitation from Murcia. And I tell him, that's going to be our greatest challenge. So I think that response, I think that's where I could have played my cards a little better. If you get my drift, I could have said no, but I hope he does send me an invitation. I would love to gravel at his feet, Your Highness. I guess that's what I should have said, and I might have got an invite. And then he says, okay, so he said, I'm gathering the biggest country for a coalition. Maybe he is scared of us, or he'll finally realize that diplomacy is important. What are we going to do? I want to discuss this with you because I would rather want to fight him and learn, then work together with him what I normally would do. And learn when what? Got a little slow there. I said, interesting. I said, he is probably trying to cause doubt amongst us. He knows we're his only challenge. But at this point, I'm not really, I'm on to Murcia, but not quite. Not quite. So let's keep getting into this. I'm trying to get to a point here, guys. I answered this question open with not a, hold on. I answered this question open with not a clear yes or no, but I want you to know that I'm on your side. I am a slick player, but I am trying to learn how to win just with skill. Wow. Did y'all read that? I answered his question. He's talking to Murcia, open with not a clear yes or no. But I want you to know that I am on your side. I am a slick player, but I am trying to learn how to win just with skill. He says, can you come directly after Shigai to my borders with North Tomsk? Now what you're seeing, guys, is I'm being ordered around a lot. And I'm obliging, I say for sure. I'm not giving him any inclination that I'm not on board. But it's very annoying to play this game and someone is constantly. Have you guys seen me ask him for anything? Since he helped me with Shigai, this guy feel like I owe him the world. So now I said, okay. So he said, got fighters coming. I see what's going on. Y'all had beef or something? He said, yeah, I'm trying to make fighters as fast as possible because airplanes are his only advantage. I said, gotcha. About the beef, he harassed me about my playstyle. I said that I can go to hell because I betrayed Shagai. He's a little burden. Then he said, do you have any tips for me? I don't really know what to do. Shagai lost all his troops, I think. Otherwise, he would have sent them to me. So after that little stack sitting between you and India, we're done with him. I say, okay, I did not forget what you said about South Indonesia. I asked him to go and help with that large stack. I'm watching everything. Just play smart and play defense. I got you 100%, sending reinforcement. He said, okay, let's see how it unfolds, but first I need to back up because of his airplanes, and Indo was actually sending his troops, so I'm happy with that. I said, yeah, no rush, fort up in defense, we coming. He only has 109 provinces, we can crack his fort line. Yeah, the only way he gonna make let's get to the meat and potatoes. I'll be back later for this is for produce. I'm going to strike his big stack. Can I have the upper and right Shagai? I say, he said, can I have the left upper coast of Shagai? I say, sure. Constantly asking for something. Thank you. I made a line with my tanks for what I want to capture. So he made a line for his tanks, basically let me know he's claiming land that ain't his yet. You see what kind of guy this is. He said, weird question. You can say no. Could you send your airplanes to my borders with East Caucasus? He doesn't have air defense and I can't defend him alone. He does have 2 fighters, yada, 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 yada. I let him know, sure, but my airplanes desperately needs to rest. I'll send help as soon as possible. Hold the line. Y'all know how I feel about my airplanes. I would never send my airplanes to work or to operate off of somebody else's provinces. Absolutely not. And you'll see that when the videos come out. So I'm asking him, can he build an airport on Jask in Bandar so that I can bring my airplanes there, but not to do what he asked me to do, but I had another agenda for my airplanes. He said, done, but are those enough? Then I gave him some more. I got the map of Murcia. Now listen to this. I want y'all to get to this type of stuff. He said, I got the map of Murcia. Don't ask me how. What? Anything you want to know? Why does this dude keep talking about Murcia? Is what got me confused. And I say not yet, but that's great intel. I mean, unless you put a bunch of spies there, how else would you get it? He said, I want to say that I really appreciate it that you want to help me in East Caucasus with your airplanes. I only need them to take down his rail guns. I know exactly where they are. I got his map too. Let me explain something to you guys. I believe Loralai is trying to trap my airplanes on his provinces. And I absolutely would not allow that. Because if you take my airplanes, I'm done. So that's what I believe he was trying to do at this point. Because why is he so adamant? Let's read this again. Can you build airport on Jask and Bandar? He said done, but those are 2 enough. I got the map. He said anything you want to know, blah, 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 blah. Not yet, but that's great. Then he said, I want to say that I really appreciate if you want to help me in East Caucasus with your airplanes. I only need him to take down his rail. Yeah, right. I said, I think you will wipe the floor with him. But I'll send some air support soon. I need them to heal up first. You know, your units will not heal on someone else's provinces. So I have to keep my airplane stationed on my provinces until they heal at least 85%. I'm lying, like y'all know I'm lying. I'm just really giving them an excuse. He said, if you want, we can trade a province for future comfort where your planes can heal. Even though I got to go all the way through your whole nation to get to that province. This guy really is a piece of work. And I said, that's okay. He said, is this good for you? So he's trying to send me a province. I said, I'm going to hold tight for now. And I said, you're very insistent. I got you covered, bro. He said, oh, sorry. Did you mean no thanks with that okay? And I said, yes, sir. I guess MB means my bad. I am sorry if I'm being insistent. I'm just really slowed down by AI, the things that happen around me, so I need to start gaining land again. I said, I understand. If I do something wrong with airplane, could you tell me? I love the mechanics. From what I can see, I said he was doing great. Feeding him whatever he needed to be fed to keep his ego in check. Then he says, thank you. I got a great example. I know you do. Before you make a deal with Jalen, I think it's better to take him in. He is weak and big for a short amount of time. If Indochino take him, he will be one of the giants in the lobby. I said, you make a good point. Let's talk about it in the group message. See, I want to get him from trying to talk to me one-on-one so much. And let's get the other guys involved in the conversation. Then he said, can you message it? They won't react on mine. Why not? But I say, no problem. So I said, I don't understand if they wanted to attack Jalen or not. I'm confused. Yeah, but not yet. Are you going to expand through Russia to Europe? I'm going to take the country above Caucasus so we can build a huge defense line. Yada, yada, yada. Nah, no communication with him, but a good idea to start building defense. And about Oregon, are we going to let him in the coalition? I say we can take a vote. He says, what do you think about Costa? I say, what do you think about Castamano? Kinda annoys me, plus he claims to want peace, yet he stole land that you earned. And now he's racing me to the capital. He said, yes, he thinks he is my buddy. Everybody's his buddy that's against our coalition. He's exposing that. He's friends with everybody that's against our coalition. Okay? He thinks, but I did not attack him because he can give me intel about Murcia because I have his map. You can attack him. He doesn't have any kind of good armies in Turkey. Just about an option. Shall we invade Cape? They are fighting now and he will be weakened. Our coalition can maybe capture Africa if we play good. I'm already en route to Africa. So he already seen me going there. So he's acting like he's already seeing me en route there. That's why I wrote this. Check this out. Careful what we write. There are spots, because he shouldn't have wrote that. Like, why would you say capture Africa so you can alert Africa? So I said spies everywhere. But right now, I would just keep an eye out. They may make peace, especially if they think we are banking on them destroying each other. Let's get out of some of these wars first. Oh, okay, and about the spies, yeah, you're right. But what can they do? Cape is a neutral man standing between two coalitions and a giant risk. See, this is all sneaky behavior. East Sudan suggested me this. I want to tell you the whole situation, but if spies get that, it will be very bad for my diplomacy. Look at this guy. He's monitoring, guys. Check this out. You reached the 1,000 subs. You have earned it. And I hope you reach the 2,000 in a short time. Yeah, right. I have a question for you. If we talk about important business, do I need to speak mysterious and instantly to what I'm trying to say? And what would you recommend? And would you recommend a premium account? I believe all these questions is a bunch of bull crap, acting like he don't know what's going on. All these simple questions. He says, I have a theory that Murcia is going to help Kasmani, so you need to come help clear Turkey as fast as possible. My troops will be there in a day. Also very important right now, Murcia has at least 100 fighters, and it will be much more when we fight him. So we need to reduce as much as possible. Still want to rule the sky in battle. This guy here. Then he says, do I need to help with Cape? I could send my airplanes if you want. I said, sure, bro, if you can, but I should be all right. He said, okay, I'll keep them between our fronts so I can move to both sides if necessary. He says, Cape wants to join us. I said, we could maybe consider it, but what do you think? I said, it was too late. Like, why would he want to join us now in that situation? It made no sense. And why didn't Cape tell me that? Why is he telling that to somebody who's not even the leader of the coalition? Why is he telling Loralai this? Why not tell me that? So I sent him an invite and he didn't accept it. So he says he is not that strong. He doesn't have airplanes at all. I said, exactly. Him and East French took them out. I got all of Murcia's troops visible, and he is planning a breakthrough in Turkey. His troops are all over the map, so I expect an attack of 2,000 troops for now if he attacks in a short time. He knows all about Murcia. He knows all about Murcia. I said, of course, bro, you are covered. I talk about it, and I don't think you need my airplanes that necessary because you already have a big advantage in the sky. I will keep them for now at my side. Yada, yada, yada. He says, great job entering Africa. He is in big trouble. I said, thanks. He was not expecting that. I knew something was wrong when he declined the invite. He said, be careful though. He has 5,000 troops sitting in Africa, but I believe you can handle it. This is the problem here, is that we're being exposed by Loralai. While we're thinking we're operating in a secret way, it's easy to counteract somebody if you see everything they're doing. So this is the problem with having him in our coalition, is that he was exposing all of our positions. Even me going to Africa, I'm sure he gave those guys a jump on that so they could remove this and mobilize troops. Because when I looked at Africa, I had it completely beat. But you'll see when the videos come out. So I said, let's clean up UFA first. I think November has Nove has been compromised. I think Murcia sent him a screenshot that may incline that we want to attack him. And this is what they do. Let me show you what the tactic is. This is what they do. You had now check this out. You had Loralai. Remember, he sent me that message about attacking Africa, right? Now what Loralai / Murcia does is, I told him, hey, don't send nothing like that, because you don't know what my intentions are, and you don't want to send that into a message where it can be intercepted. But what they do is, it doesn't have to be intercepted. They get on Discord, and he'll go and say, hey, Novgorod, hey, Eastern Cape, go and do you have Discord? Okay, great. Go to Discord. And then they'll show you a one-sided viewpoint. Or they'll show you one message that may have been sent that's not the complete picture. And then you guys get emotional and jump on board. Oh, they did say that. I see it. He sent me a screenshot of it on Discord. But why he ain't talking about it on the map? Because you know he's a liar. And that's a tactic that they use, guys. Don't fall for the Discord screenshots. Ask questions. Check it out. Don't think you figured it all out. You're dealing with a snake. You just see me prove it. If you've been following what I've been talking about thus far, I just proved it. And I wasn't even trying. That ain't even the meat and potatoes. I promise you this ain't the meat and potatoes. This is just me showing you, okay, through the dialogue, he just exposed himself. I think Murcia sent him a screenshot that may incline that we want to attack him. But you're the one that sent that message. So now it says, keep some defense off of Castamanu. I ain't waiting for him. Or do you think that he is not smart? The reason why I told him to keep the defense up, because he didn't have no defense on Castamanu, which makes sense because they working together. Keep telling him I will have more at the border. All right, I sent troops. I just don't know which side he will come from. Yeah, right. So that's why I have not directly split my troops. Liar. There's a gigantic stack in Sarasai, North Africa, and I think it will come your way. He has airplanes, 50 fighters, yeah. He wants to make everybody scared of Murcia. I don't know if a while ago your territory, but this is stacking the stack there. I don't know where that's at. Above Mendoza, Murcia troops are coming. He has 100 airplanes. How many times are you gonna tell me the man got 100 airplanes? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. We're almost done. I'm letting him know. Gotcha. Great intel. Great intel, man. Just gotta tell him anything. All of this stuff I kind of ignored, guys. I didn't really pay none of this no attention. Now this is where I shouldn't have. This is where we gotta read this though. Okay, this is where I wanted to get to. Now, he says, I need to worry because he has one single province in Kirk where all his troops are located. Just a proposal, but maybe you should retreat because the real battle will take place in my country. So he wants me, I have the full advantage in Africa. But he sees that. But also, when see, the thing is, when you can see someone's whole troops and everything they move, and you can see how strong or weak they are. So yes, I took over Africa, but if I wasn't exposed, they wouldn't know how strong or weak I am and when to come back and try to counteract. But they were able to counteract with precision, and you're gonna see that when the videos come out. But now I got my teammate, instead of sending me some help, he's saying retreat. Imagine that. At this stage of the game, there was no reason for me to retreat. Then he goes, do you really not think that retreating right now is not the best option? We can use our forces together, and with Indochina, we could launch a big attack in Europe. Now we're splitting our troops, and we could get easily countered. No, and he just exposed himself there. No, we're getting countered because you got us exposed. So I say retreat. Are you serious? We are good. Just send some help. All right, I trust you. Sending 50 fighters your way. Like, really? What is that going to do? Now, that's what I'm talking about. See, you got to keep playing like you're dumb. He said he is counterattacking us. He will attack us from all sides. We need to retreat. We can't hold Africa. No, what he's really saying is you almost took Africa, and you kind of messed up my plans. So I need you to hurry up and get out of there, and I'm going to do everything I can to help you not get Africa. Because how did he know he was going to counterattack? How you know that? Because you're looking at the map right along with them. Let's first decide with all if we're going to abandon Africa or not. So this is where I had to get a little wise. Then he tried, and then watch this. He said, what about moving our airplanes for now to Madagascar and make that our southern base? First of all, Madagascar, that would have trapped all our airplanes. This whole game, this guy has been trying to trap my airplanes, and he's been unsuccessful because I know what this rattlesnake is trying to do. He keeps trying to tell me what to do with my airplanes. Why not put them to use in Europe? Sorry, you're right. That's a better idea. I know, idiot. Then this is what he tried to do, and you'll see this in the video. He tried to lose his airplanes in Africa. I had to keep telling him to hurry up and move his airplanes. Then he goes, I was asleep, now I'm active. And I'm like, well, okay, now you're active, you can fly your airplanes. Because I had to rebuild his airport, the airport that he was on my province. And I'm like, you can fly. Then I text him again, fly. Because he wanted to try to lose his his airplane, so he ain't had to help. This guy is a real snake. Then he says, maybe a fun fact to tell your subscribers. Why is he worried about y'all? Sorry about the noise, guys. Got the lawnmower guy outside. But why is he worried about y'all? Why is Murcia worried about my subscribers? And why is he so focused on my airplanes? That means he's been watching, guys. He knows that my airplanes mean a lot to me. He knows it. Snake you. Murcia and Loralai, I dare you trying to take my airplanes. You subscribing saboteur? Anyways, maybe a fun fact. Tell yourselves that airplanes do in large numbers a lot of moral damage. Thank you for teaching me, Loralai. I use my airplanes not to attack his big stack. We know you didn't attack his big stack because that's your buddy. Because it will cost me a lot of damage, but instead I use the damage as morale. This is a lying piece of... I'm trying not to... guys, somebody told me to tone down on calling people names. So I'm trying. But this is something else. He says, tell them your way. You don't need anything to tell that I said. It is your channel. I just meant it nice. Did not mean to say it in an annoying to tell you stuff. Sound like a big kid. I said, oh nah. I'm not too big to learn. Thanks. Okay, now. This is the last message I got from Loralai. And before that, if you see, he had a little attitude or whatever, because I really wasn't taking his advice. And I said, nah, I'm not too big to learn, bro. Thanks. Now watch this. Okay? So he's made us, I decided to leave Eastern Cape, leave Africa, because I realized I didn't have his support, because he's asking me to retreat. And so we retreated and left Africa. But now you got Murcia and you got Africa here, but you got Loralai right here, right? Now I want you to pay attention to something. This area was all Loralai's. This was all Loralai's. Now remember what Loralai did with Southern Highlands over here. He moved all of his troops out and let Murcia come and take all of this. And he's gonna do the same thing here. That's his plans, and then here try to get in a, But again, we're gonna counteract that plan. But then he also, Loralai. This is what Loralai has done, guys. Loralai had a bunch of troops, almost 5,000 troops, on this front line right here. Let's get into it without exposing the map too much, because this is a current map, so I don't want to expose it too much. But we're gonna expose this snake here. Okay? So he had about 5,000 troops here, and Loralai had 5,000 here. I'm sorry, Murcia had 5,000 here, and Loralai had 5,000 here. So us and the team, we're waiting for these guys to go to war. Let me zoom back out. So this is where they were at right here. So we're waiting on these guys to clash. We're waiting on this big, epic, beautiful battle that we can get going. The coalitions against coalitions. Good battle. I mean, beautiful. Would you guys know that these guys sat there for 3 days on, days out, and did not fight each other at all? They pump fake, and pump fake to death. Where we suspected they were both on the same team. I already knew it. I knew they wasn't going to fight each other. I knew it wasn't going to be a clash. I knew Loralai was a snake. So Loralai just got so frustrated because he couldn't make me bend to anything that he was trying to do. And we were gaining an advantage. And I was knocking out all of his spies and multi-account players like Perth, like Seduna. That's why I kicked Castamanu out of here. Now look at how big Castamanu is. Ain't been touched by Murcia. Why would Murcia show mercy to Castamanu? Because he's a multi-account. So check this out, guys. Instead of coward Loralai cheating Loralai, look at what he does. Look at what he writes to the team while we're waiting on him to go into this battle. Check this out. I want y'all to read this. Y'all got to read this. Okay. This is what he wrote to the team. He said, if you have any questions or anything to say about my letter in the newspaper, I will be active for 1 day from now on. Liar. Okay. And so that's right. Let's see what he wrote in the newspaper, guys. And again, you'll get to see all of this. The videos will come out that will break all of this down, so you'll get to see it. Okay, y'all read this message right here. Y'all read this message right here. Y'all help me understand this right here. I needed to widen up a little bit. Alright, y'all read this right here. Hope y'all can get all of that in. Read that for me. This is what this guy reading. This is what he writes in the newspaper, and then this is what Murcia writes right behind him. Literally a couple minutes right behind after he wrote this. He wrote this at 14:58. 5 minutes after he wrote this, he comes right behind him. That's why I said these guys are playing. These are two guys, same account. Same account. He said, this may be a strange message for all of you. I, Loralai, after playing this guy, mind you guys, we're 50 days in on this game. So I, Loralai, have chosen to abandon this match. Could you all please read this whole message before you get any emotions? Look what kind of snake we dealing with, y'all. It's supposed to be a fun game where you match strategy, but this person turns it into something real nasty, in my opinion. Let's keep reading. I have chosen this because I am 14 years old. Can we please have a moment of silence? Can we please? Oh my goodness. Are you serious? I have chosen this because I am 14 years old. I am in a period in my life where I will find my sexuality, desires, and myself. Supremacy 1914 was a great game to show the side of my brain that I can show in my real life. A game where I could strategize and make little fantasies. But now I have decided that I don't want Supremacy to be such a big part of my life. Not right now. It takes me a lot of time, sleep, and biggest of all, it suppresses my feelings, and I don't want that. I know that this decision may decide who in this map will conquer the world. And I hope that you guys can find a solution to still make it exciting and challenging. I know that you all, even though you all think that your opponents are cowards and not trustworthy, play this for fun. And I hope that you all can help each other to make the reality that my abandonment won't affect this game, even though it may seem inevitable. We spent 55 days on this map, and I enjoyed it all. I want to thank you all for that. I hope you understand it, and I am sorry this was not the easiest decision to make. Good luck, and extra credits for Papua for the airplane lessons, and a close look on your playstyle. And of course for everyone on this map. Loralai, I still want that economical guide from you, buddy. Murcia. Y'all. Here go his supporting actor, Murcia. Please don't. You can balance your life. Game won't be fun without you. I have a girlfriend and I live with her. I run a law firm with more than 30 clients and 10 workers. I play other games and I have a lot of friends. But first of all, what lawyer has 30 clients and 10? I don't get that one. I think that's probably cap. I play this game all at the same time. The game times, long times make us able to balance it. Amazing. Now, no one else believes this. Super sus moves being made in this map. Bro, where is this game going? Bro, There's no way a 14-year-old wrote that. Mendoza, right. Even Eastern Cape. Only way a 14-year-old writes that stuff for a game is that it's Chat GPT or they're way older than 14. Regardless, then we're proving that he's lying. But he played 200 games since 2022 and only has 14 victories. Sounds like a feeder account to me. Absolutely. Whatever you can think what you want, you can think I'm older, but this is my decision to make. And with you guys trying to make me a devil or whatever, you can't even write. I did not use Chat GPT because I taught you guys deserved a real explanation. Bye-bye. That's what we deal. That's what we're dealing with, guys. I want you to know the backdrop. I went all the way through that so you guys can fully understand what we're dealing with. So what he did was, well, before we get to that, let's go here into the messages again, so we can just close out what we need to know. This is what he did. So when they was lined up, like I said, and they was supposed to fight, I wrote him, I said, I think you should just take the stack out. Because they were head up, but we had the, Loralai had the advantage. And I said, no. And he was and Kane's like, who, me? South Dutch? I said, no. I said, Loralai. And so we can all bum rush that stack and get into Europe. And so, that's what we're trying to tell Loralai. He said, Papua and Murcia is going to land in Turkey with his neighbor. Can you send your airplanes? I don't have enough in Turkey. Still asking for my airplanes. But I don't think he's going to land in Turkey. He can land everywhere else, so we need to be careful. Okay, Perth is out, which leaves room for 2 more people that can put in the coalition. Already had, let's go invoke Colombia and Mendoza. Yeah. And this is where he tells us about what he wrote in the paper. He said, if you have any questions or anything to say about my letter in the newspaper, I will be active for 1 day from now on. This is what he writes to us as a team. And the guys didn't respond well to it. They're like, nah, something don't make sense. Are you going to stay on the map? The math ain't mathing. But with Loralai gone, our fight is going to be a lot harder now. Then he says, so funny you think I'm lying. You know you don't know how much time it costs really to play this game. You have only 2,000 troops. Murcia and I would have run through you. Murcia and I would have, like, this guy is exposing us. And you sound pretty stupid to me. Maybe you will get it when you are mature. But you're the one that said you're 14. And lying about it. So I was the one that kicked Loralai. I finally kicked him out because what he did, and I'm going to show you guys this on, I'll show you this on the next video. I'll show you exactly what he did. He took the big stack that he had right here and he moved them into the center. He moved all of his troops out and moved them there and allowed, as you can see, he allowed Murcia to come in and just take all of his land. As you can see, that's what's happening. You see he got 2 troops right there, 1 right there. So we're trying to come in and protect some of the land. But as you can see, Murcia has this free reign over here to just come in and take all of this land from Loralai because he moved all of his troops out. They may be one troops every, look, he got 1 there, 2 there. So he moved all of them out. And he's allowing Murcia and Kirks and everybody else to come in from that coalition and take the land. Now, the thing is, he was a part of our coalition. If he felt he was only 14 years old and immature and didn't want to play anymore, he should have went ahead and attacked that stack and sent all his troops towards the enemy and helped us out. You've been playing with us for over 50 days. Why not look out for us if you decided you're going to quit? And why not look out for the team and say, listen, since I'm quitting, guys, I'll go ahead and bum rush that big stack that I'm in front of, and I'll push my troops towards the enemy, and then y'all come in and take the land. He did the total opposite. And that's what we're dealing with right now. But what I like about this coalition and this team I got is that these guys did not quit. We're still in the fight. Right now, we still got Mendoza here. We got Oregon here. We got South French Indochina here. I'm still here. Cairns is still here. And we got a few other members that may want to join us in this fight. So we're going to see how this map goes. Because now I'm motivated a little bit to take down this situation here. This guy completely betrayed us. Look at this. Look at all this land he just gave up. This is about 40, 50 provinces. And he's going to let them come all the way in. But hold us off. And so I wanted to make sure I give you guys what was going on, give you a current update. And I'm going to continue to stay on this. But right now, it's a close game. Their coalition now is at 798. Since I kicked Loralai out, we lost 181 points. And that dropped us to 758, which is not too far. But I suspect he's probably going to join their coalition eventually. That's what I suspect. So he's probably waiting, because you have to wait 3 days once you leave a coalition, and then you can join. So I suspect that's what's going to happen. So we got a big situation on our hand. But guess what? We're going to walk through it. Y'all stay tuned. We'll let you know the ups and downs of it. But that's what happens sometimes on this game, guys. Is you get these snakes that come in and they try to make the game daunting and mean and nasty. But we're not going to allow that. We're going to stay positive. We're going to still have some fun with this game. And you never know, guys. We may overcome the odds. We may overcome the odds. You never know. All right? Stay tuned.